And we turn now to the Lonely Planet Guide, which has said such nice things about us that our reaction has been a little like Sally Fields on receiving her Oscar in 1985. You like me. You really like me, she's widely quoted as having said. It's interesting to note the regional variations in our responses to the Lonely Planet praise. The Waikato Times, for example, goes with the big old headline, Waikato is postcard perfect, basking in Lonely Planet's adoration. But elsewhere, in places arguably less impressed by flannel, Southland, for example, they go with a more matter-of-fact assessment, bouquets, brickbats for South. And so clearly there are regional variations both in what's said and how it's been taken. So we thought we'd ask the people the Lonely Planet Guide is written for to tell us how they see us. Yes, the tourists themselves.
New Zealand is a very clean country, and also Kiwi people are very friendly.
It's our first time in New Zealand. It's going to be the most beautiful country we've ever been to. The people are the most friendly, and we will definitely be coming back.
I would simply describe it as awesome and majestic, and it abounds in some of the major wonders of the world.
I'd write about Stewart Island. I think it's a closely held secret. I believe it's been the highlight of our trip. It was a very unique experience, and I happened to see a kiwi.
Skydiving in Taupo was amazing.
Well, probably Kaikoura, the dolphins, swimming with dolphins was most spectacular.
Waitomo Cave-In. It's excellent. And skydiving in Wanaka? It was absolutely amazing.
I'd say it's a fantastic place. I'd say the surroundings are just brilliant. The scenery is amazing. There's absolutely no one here. The place is completely empty, which is lovely.
If people are made welcome, then people will come back, and I certainly have been pleased to come back.
So far I've been here for 2 days, and the thing that struck me is probably the weather. It's been awful. But we've been in the north and travelling around in our van, and it hasn't been nicked yet, so I think it's not as bad as the Lonely Planet's making out.
Well, back to the Lonely Planet Guide. Who's behind this extraordinary PR coup for New Zealand? Well, a New Zealander, as a matter of fact. Yes, Lonely Planet's commissioning editor is a former Kiwi, a boy from Whakatane, now very much spreading the word, as you can see. A warning, a slightly risque story coming up. But I asked Errol Hunt, first of all, about the Lonely Planet feedback and what do people comment on most?
I think, the big things about New Zealand are always the scenery, which I think, as Kiwis, we often miss. And I was talking to someone in the office today and going, the scenery, it's all right. And they just looked at me like I was an idiot and said, the place is stunning, there's nowhere, these are Australians, they said, there's nowhere in Australia with that kind of scenery. But also what we're getting a lot and what we're really pushing in this new guide is the people, as just genuine New Zealanders, as a real attraction of the country. Once people get there and start travelling around and talking to Kiwis, that can be the highlight of their trip.
Errol, one of the things, one of the very few negatives, and there's some stuff up north, that sort of people breaking into your cars and all that kind of stuff, which has been widely canvassed elsewhere. But I think sometimes people are surprised by how expensive we are here. Do they come here expecting we'll be cheap?
I think part of that is the exchange rate recently, because it's something that we've definitely noticed, because we get hundreds and hundreds of letters from readers about New Zealand, and there's been a definite increase in people commenting on the prices. But it's also, I think New Zealand is relatively expensive for eating out and for the kind of the big ticket activities, and that can, I think, surprise people a bit. And I think the problem is that people don't expect it, and then when it happens, they feel like they're being ripped off. So I think what we need to do is tell them this is the kind of price you're going to pay, and then it's fine. It's not so expensive that it's going to turn people away.
Errol, of any of the stories that have come into your office, both from your own staff and from the letters, are there any particular, is there one in particular that stands out as the sort of quintessentially odd New Zealand experience, or something that really kind of defines the place?
There's one story which immediately springs to mind. I'm not sure if this is good for TV, but one of our authors was sitting beside the road in Wairoa and had a carload of local boys drive past and wind the window down. I think he's sitting there writing up his notes for the day, and they just shouted out at the road, "Show us your small cock, eh, bro?" and then drove off, and leaving him kind of stunned with pencil poised above the paper. And Charles told me this at a pub after he got back to Melbourne, and I couldn't stop laughing. I just thought that's such a New Zealand experience.
It's truly New Zealand. Well, I guess when people come here, in terms of, they kind of expect emptiness, don't they? The sort of, you know, the cinema of unease images, big open spaces and all that kind of stuff. Are they surprised by the extent to which we're urbanised, the big centres, the main centres? Are they surprised by that?
Yeah, I think they are actually. I think cities like Dunedin, Wellington, Auckland, Christchurch really quite surprise travellers. Friends of mine who are Australians, and yeah, they get conditioned to this big open scenery, and you know that's about it. They go there, and a friend of mine was saying her friend, who's a very cool inner city Melburnian, was spending about an hour getting ready to go out in Wellington because she felt intimidated by all these really cool Wellingtonians.
Scary Wellingtonians.
And I think that does come as a surprise. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you're a North Island boy, and so am I, but give it to us blunt. North versus South, which island is more popular?
I can't give it to you, but I have to say the North. I think the scenery thing in the South Island is massive. You know, like the South Island is utterly beautiful, and I think that blows travellers away. I think probably as far as meeting people, the North and the South have both got areas that are. I go on about the bookends to the country, like the West Coast and the East Coast, and I think also Northland and Southland are just utterly amazing, unique parts of New Zealand. And I think if travellers just went to those 4 regions, they'd have an amazing time.
Errol Hunt, Lonely Planet Commissioning Editor. Thanks so much, Errol.
Marvellous.